With the housework out of the way, let's actually start solving the cube. In this video, I'll give you an overview of the steps that you'll be using to solve the cube using the beginner's method, and then in the following videos, we'll dive in depth into each individual step. Many people, when they first get a Rubik's Cube, try and think about it in terms of sides. For example, there are 6 sides of the Rubik's Cube, so we should solve one at a time. This is completely incorrect, and it's not the way that we're going to think about it at all. So we're not going to think about the Rubik's Cube in terms of sides, but rather we're going to think about it in terms of layers. That is, there are 3 layers on the Rubik's Cube: the bottom layer, the middle layer, and the top layer, and we're going to solve each of those one at a time. So we solve the first layer in 2 steps. Firstly, by solving this cross, which involves placing 4 edge pieces around a centerpiece, and then we flip it over and solve the 4 corner pieces of our first layer. Solving the middle layer, or the second layer, simply involves placing 4 edge pieces in their correct positions around the middle layer, so that you get the first 2 layers complete. We're then going to solve the final layer in 4 steps. The first 2 of those steps transform the cube from something like this to something like this, where we've oriented all of the pieces of our top layer such that the entire top face is a single colour. We do this in 2 steps by firstly orienting the edge pieces to make a cross, and then orienting our corner pieces on the top layer. Once we've oriented our pieces on the top layer, the last 2 steps involve solving firstly the corner pieces of our top layer so that our cube looks something like this, and then we see that we only have the edge pieces left to solve. So what we do is we solve those edge pieces. One final note: this tutorial is designed to teach you how to solve a Rubik's Cube, obviously. However, there's no reason you can't first attempt to solve the cube by yourself without any help. If this is something that you'd like to have a go at, I'd highly recommend it. Whether you try for a few minutes, half an hour, or a few days, it won't hurt you to try and see how much of the cube you can solve independently. If you're going to try and do this, I'd suggest starting out by solving one layer of the cube. If you're able to solve one complete layer by yourself, you've done a really excellent job. I wasn't even able to solve a layer without any help when I first started speed cubing. If you're ready to start, then let's get started for real by solving the white cross.